How are you? Happy Wednesday, middle of the work week, and this week we have a long holiday weekend here in America, Memorial Day holiday, and given the past year that we had, folks are on the move right now. COVID kind of shut it down, didn't it? No doubt, it literally shut it down. But so many folks are getting out and about these days, it's almost normal. Hate to say it, but it feels a little bit like that, doesn't it? Crazy stuff. So as you're out this weekend, are you going to get up early and enjoy the weekend, the early mornings, or are you going to sleep in a little bit? We're going to talk about morning hours and where your focus should be if you want to get the most out of your day and, frankly, relax for the most part of your day. If you do it in the morning, we can set you up for success. It is the Daily Boost from motivationtomove.com. 15 years now, all these podcasts later, and still a basic mission. Life begins when you move. You should do some now so you can do more later, whether it's physical, intellectual, financial. If you move now today and you consistently move forward, you'll be great year after year after year, even when life gets in the way like it has the past year. We will pivot, we will iterate, we'll adapt and overcome, we'll create what we need to create because that's what we do. We're humans, right? Good stuff. Hey, it's me, Scott Smith, Chief Motivating Officer and founder here at motivationtomove.com. Happy you're here today. You know, this weekend, if you are getting out and giving yourself some me time, some you time, I have a suggestion for you. This morning, I was listening to my Face Your Passion program. I listened to the first module this morning. I made this program essentially because I was having really good success with coaching clients. I figured out a way to get them from where they are to where they want to go, and I packaged it up into a program to help you find your passion and face your passion, live the life of your dreams. It's just been an amazing success over the years. It's inside my membership site at motivationtomove.com. If you have time this weekend, you should join. The entire program is there for you. The minute you join, you don't have to wait for it. It's not dripped out or anything. Just join. And maybe on the beach this weekend or taking a car trip, listen. You'll be amazed how I'll get your mind changing, and I think you'll be more amazed at how you start thinking differently by the end of Face Your Passion, probably the first module, to be honest with you. Go to motivationtomove.com and get signed up for it. So lately, I have been having the same conversation a lot. You can tell by my voice, it's been cracky all this week. I need to give it a break, maybe this weekend, holiday weekend. I'll relax a little bit, maybe keep my mouth shut just a little. But I talk a lot. I have a lot of great clients, a lot of great groups that I work with all the time, and I love it, and I'm always highly animated, and frankly, I'm feeling it. But I always have the same conversation, so let me go back in time a little bit here and tell you something I discovered probably 12 or 15 years ago. Working with a ton of different people, a ton of different, mostly type A folks, high energy, high potential business people for the most part, people who come to the table like, let's go, yet they're not getting what they want. And so I would get in a conversation. Now, imagine you're dealing with somebody who's a mover and a shaker, and all they want to do is tell you what to do, but they came to me to say, Scott, tell me what to do. Well, I had to figure out a way to do that. The very first rule I ever had with these people is I have to slow them down. Now, I can't tell them that because if I tell them I'm going to slow them down, they get mad at me. But I know I have to slow them down. And once I get them slowed down, then I notice there's something else. They're missing a basic skill set. Imagine that. Really, truly successful people in every possible way you can imagine. And yet there's a basic skill set that they don't have, and they don't know it. The truth is, it's in there. They probably forgot to do it. So I'm always going back and always digging up these skill sets and always going back to the basics. And one of the places I go back to is mornings. And what do you do with your mornings? Now, I know I talk about this often because it's that important. All over the internet right now, everybody has their morning routine. You're hearing that all the time. That's how popular it is. And I get emails all the time. People are now talking about their circadian rhythm as it relates to sleep. And I agree with all that stuff. So if I talk about getting up early in the morning, I just want to preface it off the top by saying if 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. is early for you and you stay up till 2 in the morning the next day, that's fine. If you're a 3 o'clock riser, a 4 o'clock riser, that's fine. But I can tell you this, the vast majority of the world is getting up at between 6 and 7 in the morning and going to work and spending their day basically chasing after whatever has to be chased after. So if you get up an hour before that in the morning, you will be ahead of society, and that's a big advantage. But I do want to tell you, if you are into your circadian rhythm, if you're into your sleep debt, all these things that are being talked about these days about being healthy, use this the best way you can. So don't, I'm not going to hold you to anything. It's what you want to do. But peaceful mornings, when you have time to yourself, is the number one thing that I have to get across to folks who really want to get ahead in life. Because the focus and the creativity and the feeling of momentum that comes up before anybody else is moving around. I like to say before the chickens get up, but it's before that. Basically, it's before the boss calls. before the kids get busy, before life gets in the way, before the handyman shows up at 8 o'clock in the morning, before traffic jams, before you sit in line at McDonald's to get your Egg McMuffin in the morning. When that stuff starts to happen, your day is now kind of in that stuff's hands. So when you start earlier and you give yourself available time, how much time? Could be 20 minutes, could be 3 hours. It's up to you. When you decide that you're going to do that in the morning, no matter what that means to you, you are ahead of the game. And that is the goal. Here it is. Let me state it for you loud and clear. The goal is for you to, first thing that you get out of bed, do the most important thing that you need to do. The single thing that if you did that, the rest of the day is easy. No matter what comes up, you can handle it. I do that every single morning. That's not to mean I'm not busy all day with calls and appointments and everything. I am. But my thinking time, my productivity time, my life planning time, the places I want to go, I've thought about that first thing in the morning. So we want to get the complicated done, the hard done, the deep done first thing in the morning with a simple routine. Now, here's what it is. People say to me, Scott, well, what am I going to do? Well, you're going to do the first thing that moves you closer to your goal in the morning. Oh, what's that? Well, it could be anything. But if we looked at our life and we said, what's the most important thing to do? It may be getting a project done for a client. It may be getting your school homework done. It may be doing some life planning. Some of you may want to journal. Some of you may want to meditate. Some of you may want to go to the gym. What's the most important thing for you? I found in my life that sometimes going to the gym the first thing in the morning is the most important thing I should be doing. I found other times, not so much. Sometimes it's reading. Sometimes it's thinking. Sometimes it's writing. It's not calling anybody. It's not sending emails because you don't want to do that. You see, you want to get up in the morning after setting your goal the night before. So imagine this. Come close here. This is so simple. You don't need to be fancy on this. If you will stop today, sometime before the end of your day, and say, okay, I'm done with my day. So what do I need to do tomorrow? What's the first thing? What's the most important thing I could be doing? And I'm going to do it tomorrow morning when I get out of bed. Now, when I do this, by the way, here's what happens. I get out of bed and I pretty much jump out of bed, walk out of my bedroom, say hi to the dogs. They all say hi to me. I take a drink of water. I kind of turn around. I walk back in. I take a shower. Take a shower first thing. Come back out. I get a shake. I get some vitamins. I get some coffee, and I head up to my office. I don't check my email. I don't check my phone most days. Some days I do. Some days I cheat. I've been working on my sleep lately using an app on my iPhone. So I've been checking my sleep. It's kind of funny. First thing I do, wake up and see how well I slept. But I do that first. I come upstairs and I sit down and I kind of lean back in my chair with no distractions. I go, okay, what do I got to do? So what's the first thing I have to remember? Just what I said the day before. What's the first thing? And because I didn't allow the email, I didn't allow a text message, I didn't allow Facebook, nothing else came in my way. Nobody bothered me. I'm not distracted. I just have to do the next thing. Now, what do you suppose that is? If the day before I have decided the most important thing I can do tomorrow morning, the very first thing when I get out of bed, if I've decided that, what is the next most important thing I have to do the next morning? What would you think that to be? Well, it's pretty easy to guess if you want to. It's to get yourself to, how do they say it? Do it? Yeah, that's what I mean by that. Get yourself to do it. So I will tell you, I'll raise my right hand and shout it out loud and clear for everybody to hear, that of the tens of thousands of people that I've worked with, and in this case, dozens and dozens every single week, sometimes in the hundreds every single week, rarely do I come across anybody who has succeeded greatly in life without doing the first thing that's important first thing in the morning. And if ever they get off track, they always go back to that. That is the number one thing you can do. And again, it doesn't have to be 5 a.m. If you're rocking at 10 o'clock in the morning and you want to do it that way, all power to you, man. Go for it. You might have to turn your phone off. You might have to turn everything else off because the world is living, and do not underestimate the power of the world being in full action when you're trying to focus. When you're trying to give yourself you time and everybody else is trying to get stuff done, do not underestimate the ability of that to distract you from what you want. That's why we want to get up in the morning and do it when nobody else is paying attention. Before they even get out of bed, you're getting stuff done. Now, you've probably heard this 1,000 times, and you'll probably hear it 1,000 times more. But keep this in mind. The goal is simple. Get up, do what's important, make progress, and be done with the most important stuff before anybody else's day even gets started. Then just enjoy your day. People will be saying, how do you get so much time? How do you get so much done? Why are you always available? Why is your door always open? You say, come here, I'll tell you about it. Just get up early one day. That's all it takes. I'll see you tomorrow.